Namah Parvati Pataye Govinda Kirtanam.
Namaste everyone. Very happy to see you all here once again for Srimad Bhagavatam. So before diving deep into the Bhagavatam, we will start with the prayer. Om Shuklam Bhardaram Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vighnopashantaye. Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Guruve Sarva Lokanam Vishje Bhavaroginam Nidhe Sarva Vidhyanam Dakshinamurti Namaha. தென்னாடுடைய பெரியவா போற்றி எந்நாட்டவர்க்கும் இறைவா போற்றி சர்வஜா சர்வவியாபி பெரியவா சரணம் மாயப்பெருப்பருக்கும் மகா பெரியவாடி போற்றி. ஓம் ஜன்மாத்யஸ்ய யதோ அன்வயாதிதரதஸ்சார்த்தேஷு அபிஜ்ஞः ஸ்வராட் தேனே பிரம்மஹ்ருதாய ஆதிகவயே முஹ்யந்தி யத்சூரயः तेजो वारिमृदां यदा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषां दाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि. मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्. So here, after narrating Govinda Pattabhishekam, Sukacharya told how Krishna defeated Varunan. That is Devan, this Varuna Devan, he wanted to have Krishna's feet in his own place. So what happened? He kidnapped Nandagopar and went to the Varuna's place. And Krishna defeated Varunan and he brought back his father Nandagopan. And now after narrating all the Bala Leelas here, Sukacharya started narrating Kama Vijayam, means Raskreeda, Rasa Leelai, Manmada Vijayam. He started. So one night, the Supreme Lord, Krishna, Lord Krishna, through his yoga maya, made the jasmine flowers to blossom in the period of autumn. So during the night, Krishna saw all the lotuses, blooming, the lotuses, open to the disk of the moon, and saw the entire forest, the whole forest was reddened by the gentle, rays of light. And Lord Krishna started, sweetly played his flute. The chanting of this flute, the sound, the song sung by Krishna and the flute, that enchanted the mind of all the gopis there. So the gopis, all the gopis in the Vrindavanam, they all heard this Venuganam. So after hearing this Venuganam, no gopis can stand there because they're all, seized by Krishna. So one gopi, what happened? The gopis, they all wanted to come to see Krishna in the, to come in close of Krishna. So what happened? Some left behind the cows while they were milking them, and some abandoned the milk they have kept in the stove for boiling. And see, one gopi, what happened? She was feeding her child, and she abandoned the child and she came back to Krishna. And some gopi was serving food to their husbands, and having heard the song, they left their husband and went in search of Krishna. And some were dressing up. But they were half-dressed, and then they went to see Krishna half-dressed. And some, while they were oiling or massaging themselves, wearing oil all over the body, someone was putting kajal in one of her eyes, and other went to Krishna with their clothes and ornaments all in disarray. See, they all want to see Krishna. Having heard the flute sound, having heard the song, they all went in search of Krishna. Here it is said that, see, the gopis leaving behind the cows while they were milking them. And some gopi was boiling milk in the stove, and she wanted to see Krishna, and she abandoned the milk. It was boiling. So this means all the gopis, they left the dharmam, artham, and kamam. See, one leaves the milk in the stove or leave the calf, then that will be dharmalobham. It is said that will be dharmalobham. And if you abandon the milk, then that means it's arthalobham. So these gopis, what happened? They left the dharmam, artham, and kamam and proceeded to take the moksha. This is what it means. All of them, went near Krishna. Krishna, who is the, by whose grace this world, finds liberation. They all wanted to go near him. They all wanted to go near and, surround Krishna. But when the Lord saw all the gopis coming to him, the Lord is the best of all the speakers. And particularly Lord Krishna, he know how to use the charming words, that confused them. Krishna said, what can I do to please you? Why have you all come here? And that too at night. Is everything okay? And for what reason you have come here? He knows very well. He wanted all the gopis to come there. This night is full of fearsome creatures, you can see. So please return to the, Vrindavan. He says, you slender girls, you women should not hang around here like this. Because your mother, your father, sons or brothers or sisters, everyone will be, looking for you. So all the gopis have come. So there are no sisters. So brothers, husbands, fathers and sons, they are looking for you and they cannot find you. So do not make your, families afraid. So go, please go, return back. He said, another thing he said is, the highest dharmam for a woman is to look after her husband and do services to him. To be very simple and very honest towards their relatives and to take care of her family. So please don't stay here. It's, it's pitch dark and you have to go home. So return back. The gopis, they all know that Krishna want them here, want them there. And they all went there for Krishna alone. So the gopis, they can't, they can't hear all these words. So hearing all this unpleasant words from Krishna, they got dejected. They got disappointed and they got anxiety. That was very hard to overcome for them. So they became so saddened. Their lips became dry and with their, tears coming out, rolling out from their eyes, spoiling all their makeup. They were in great distress. They wiped the tears. All the gopis, they wiped the tears and stopped their crying. And then with their choked voice in attachment, in agony, said something. Like the gopis said, oh mighty Lord, mighty one, don't speak like this. You should not speak harshly. Okay? Please reciprocate with our devotion at your feet. We have denounced everything else. You as the knower of Dharma spoke to us about the duty of woman. That would consist of, service and faithfulness to our husband and relatives. And you said, if a woman, follows this dharma, this kind of dharma, it will lead to moksha dharma. That is the result of this instruction. So, but you are the soul of all the embodied beings, and you are the closest relative, the real object of all the instructions. Whatever you have said, the real object of all the instructions, you are the real object. So even after coming here to your charanam, still do we want to do all the services to our family? We have left. We all know who you are. You are the Antaratma. You are the Antaratma. You are so lovable. You are so lovable to all the, living entities. So because of you only, because of you are the soul of all living entities, we can recognize our husband as our husband. Without you, nothing is valuable. Nothing is valuable. So even after discovering you, what is the need and where is the need for, Bhartru Sistrushe? So Bhagavan cannot answer all this question because they were asking all these questions with tears in their eyes. So Bhagavan cannot answer this question. So Swami, Bhagavan, he became 16,000 Krishnas and played with all the gopis. Being together with all of them is like, it's like it's said like it's like a spotted deer. Was as splendid as the blemished moon surrounded by all the stars, and being sung and singing himself as the commander of all the hundreds of women moving among them. He increased the beauty of the forest. The forest became so beautiful. He took all the gopis near the river bank. He took pleasure in putting his arms around them. And then each gopi, started to think that Krishna is for me and for me alone. They are getting proud, considering themselves as the best of all women on earth. All the gopis had kamam and a little bit of ahankaram also, observing that the Lord Krishna as a form of they thought that Krishna is only for me because each gopi has a Krishna for her. So they thought that, no, Krishna, I am the best of all women. I have Krishna. So what happened? Krishna at that time, as a form of grace, he took Radha with him and disappeared. He left all the gopis. He took Radha alone and disappeared from the spot, in order to abate it. So Sukacharya here, he said, after Lord Krishna disappeared from that place, all the gopis, they were so, all the gopis became mad. They became mad, their hearts broken, and they were all weeping, crying, and lamenting, and started to ask, okay. See, they became so mad that, they went around the forest and they were asking all the trees and rocks and stones, oh, Vata tree, oh, banyan tree, oh, stone, oh, rock, have you seen Krishna? Oh, Tulasi, oh, Malati, have you seen Krishna? Is Krishna somewhere? Kinchi Tulasi Kalyani Govinda Charana Priye. The gopis thus, they spoke, they're speaking madly, being in distraught in search of Krishna, get fully immersed in him. They were thinking of him. Each one of them began to act, act out of a certain pastime of Krishna. They were enacting. Here, what happened? Krishna took Radha with him, and Radha thought, Radha got a little bit of ahankaram, and she feels that, see, Krishna likes me alone. See, he left all the gopis down, and I am the best of all women, as his beloved, and has turned all the other gopis down. So I am his best. Thereupon, going to that spot in the forest, she got a little bit proud and she asked Krishna, said to Krishna, I cannot move on. Okay, please carry me. Wherever you want to go, you go, but you please carry me and go. I can't walk. Then Krishna, now he knows the mind of Radha. And Krishna said, oh, okay, climb on my back. When she was about to climb, when she was making ready to climb on Krishna's back, what happened? He disappeared. Krishna disappeared. So she felt very sorry. Oh Lord, oh my dear, where are you? Because she was left alone. All the gopis were together. Radha is alone now. At least they are all, together. So please, my friend, show yourself. And I'm really, really a wretched maid servant. Sukacharya here said, here all the gopis who are not far away from the, following the trail of, Krishna, discovered that their unhappy friend in a state of bewilderment because she was all alone. Because they thought, all the gopis, they thought that Radha is, was Bhagyasali. So fortunate to be with the Krishna. But what happened here was, she had received Madhava's respect, of course, but he had let her down because of her ahambhavam. So, absorbed in him, discussing him, initiating, imitating him, and filled with the, the presence, with his presence everywhere, they simply, singing about his qualities. They no longer thought about their home. They were singing, and they were in search of Krishna. Turning back to the river, to the bank of Kalindi river, they meditated on Krishna, sang together, and eagerly awaited for his arrival. The whole slokam, the song sung by Gopikas, they started singing together. And in this slokam or song, Bodhendra Swami had added Krishna to each line of the song, which makes it, more melodious and beautiful. The song became more beautiful. So they started singing together. Jayati te digam Krishna janmana vrajah Shrayata indira Krishna shashvadhadrahi Daitya dhashyatam Daita drishyatam Krishna dikshutavaka. Like Gopi said, oh beloved Krishna, because of your birth in Vrindavanam, because you have taken birth in Vrindavanam, Mahalakshmi, the goddess of fortune, and Indran always resides here, always stays here. And your birth in this land has made it exceedingly, glorious. It's only for your sake that we, your devoted servants, maintain our lives. We have been searching everywhere for you. Where are you? Please show yourself to us. The Vrindavanam is only, they say the Vrindavanam is only an Idaicheri. Idaicheri means it's a cowherd man living there. But it is like Vaikundam now. How do they know Vaikundam? How do the gopis, they know Vaikundam? Once, what happened when Krishna was so, like a baby, there were only simple gopas and gopis. Once when Yashoda was having Krishna, in her lap, all the gopis and gopas went there. They asked whether your son is Sakshat Narayanan. If it's so, if it is so, can he show the Vaikundam? Krishna said to all the gopis, Krishna was lying, on the lap of Yashoda, and he saw them, and he said, oh, you want to go to Vaikundam? It's nothing. Everyone close your eyes. So when they opened their eyes, they were in Vaikundam. Vaikundam means Vichanagadi Sevai with, Brahma Jyoti Sanatanam, with all the Vedas, loud roaring, the Vedas roaring, and, all the rishis were standing for Darsanam of Vaikundapati. But inside, what happened? This Paramatma, this Vaikundapati was lying with only 2 hands on Adishesha Darpam. Because these gopis, they don't accept if when Vaikundapati was with 4 hands, they won't accept them. So he was only with 2 hands. On seeing this Paramatma, they rushed and said, oh Krishna, hey, look, our Krishna was sleeping in that, serpent. Okay, they all went there. They were trying to go there. But what happened? That Jaya Vijaya, the security guards were there. No, you can't go like that. Simply go like that, asking, hi Krishna. You can't go like that. This is Vaikundam. And you can't just go and approach Paramatma like that. All those Krishna and all, it's only in Vrindavanam. You go there and you call Krishna, you're Krishna. Then the gopis got scared and said, come Krishna, let us go to Vrindavan itself. This is not suitable for us. This is not our place. Okay, we will go to our place and we will enjoy there. This is not our place. So they all went there with Krishna. So the gopis said, here, you have repeatedly saved us, from all the kinds of dangers. We all know you saved us from the poisoned water, from the terrible, man-eater Agasuran, from the great rains, and from the wind Rakshasan, and from the, fairy thunderbolt of Indran, and from the bull demon. We thought that you are the son of Yashoda. No, you are not the son of, you are not actually the son of, the Gopi Yashoda. Nakalu Gopika Krishna Bandhano Bhavan. But rather, the indwelling witness in, in the hearts of all the embodied souls. As because you are the, inner indwelling, witness of whatever we do, one can identify a person whom he has seen, long before. We say, oh, I have seen you somewhere. That's because, Atma, the Paramatma is there inside. As because you are inside, as because you are inside us, the eyes can see, the mouth can talk, the mouth can eat, talk. Otherwise, no word can come. No word can come out of our mouth, because the Lord Brahma prayed for you, to come and protect the universe. You have now appeared in this kulam. See, if you are born somewhere in a rich family or in a kingly, family, we cannot approach you. It is your mercy. It is your kind mercy we can, to appear here in this Yadaicheri. Virajitha bhayam Krishna vrishni dhuryate charanamiyusham Krishna samsruthe bhayat. O Lord Krishna, see your lotus-like hand, which holds the, hands of Mahalakshmi, grants fearlessness to those who approach your feet out of fear of samsara, material existence. So, Lord, please place your hand on our head. Shirasi Dehinaha Krishna Shrikara Graham. For those who come to you or approach you, and do Charanagadi, and due to the fear of this Janma Marana, Thabam, you have to place your hands on them. Khanta Kamadam. Place your, wish-fulfilling lotus hands on your heads, on our heads. Pranata Dehinam Krishna Papakarshanam Trinacharanugam Krishna Sriniketanam. See, if one says Krishnaya Namaha and surrender himself to the Lord and do Namaskar, what happens? Krishna is taking care of everything. The Lord is taking care of everything. He doesn't have to bother about his caste, creed, or kulam, or gotram, or whatever it is. He doesn't bother about, he does not have to bother about how much papam or punyam he has done. The Lord destroys all the sins who surrenders with the Lord. Papa Karshana. Gopis say that your lotus feet, charanam, destroys the past sins of all the embodied souls who surrenders to them. Those feet, those feet are the feet of Krishna, are those feet after the cows in the pastures. But, you can't simply say that it's only those feet, you can't demean the charanam. It is also the eternal abode of Mahalakshmi. Trina Charananugam means that is such a feat. Panipanarpitam Krishna te padambujam. Since you put once you put those feet on the hoods of the great serpent, Kalingan, please place them upon our chests or heart, on our head, and tear away all the, lust in our hearts. See, gopis here prayed the Krishna to say Mahavakyam, Mahavakya Upadesam, because Madhuraya Gira means Madhuraya Gira meaning the words, the nectar, the amridam of your lips, the charming words coming out of Krishna, from Lord Krishna will be Mahavakyam only. If Krishna says something, then that is a Mahavakyam. So the meaning of Mahavakyam will be understood only by Vivekikal or intellectuals or intelligent people. Avivekikal cannot understand. So you may doubt us. How can you understand all these things? But in Dandakaranyam, in Ramayanam, in Dandakaranyam, we have done our Agnihotrams properly. And that is why we were born as, we are born as gopis in this birth. But here we don't understand the right path. So please teach us and give Mahavakyam. So they are all jnanis. Gopikas are jnanis. Pranatakamadam Krishna Padmajarchitam Dharani Mandanam Krishna Dhyeyamapadi Charana Pangajam Krishna Shantamam Chate Ramananasthaneshu Krishna Arpyadihan. See, the gopis started begging to Krishna. The gopis begged to keep the Lord's charanam on their, on them. Your lotus feet, which is, worshipped by Lord Brahma, fulfill the desires of all who bow down to them. See, they are all the ornaments. They are the ornaments of earths. Lord's charanam removes all the sins from the past. That is how the Lord's charanam is. Everyone, even one of the charanam is enough. Not both the charanam. One of the charanam is enough. The time of danger, this and the time of manovyadi, the Lord's charanam is the best medicine for anyone. All the medicines are only, it's a destroyer of anxiety. Bhagavan's charanam is a destroyer of anxiety. Please put your lotus, feet on us. So, dear Achyuta, very well why we have come here. You are a cheater. You are a cheater. You are abandoning this young woman, who have come to see you in the middle of the night. We have completely rejected our husbands, children, ancestors, brothers, all the relatives. So please don't discard us. Please take us. And you see, Tava Kathamridam Krishna Tapta Jivanam. See, your story or the Kathamridam, that is the Tapta Jivanam. Tapta Jivanam means that the description of your activities, the description of your pastimes in the life, Lord Krishna, of life of Krishna. That is the soul, that is the life for all the people suffering in the world. These narrations are the good tonic. It's going to be a good tonic, the tonic discovered by, Vyasar and Valmiki and Sukar. And this will drive away all the, Janana, Marana, Bhayam. And this narrations transmitted by all the, learned sages, just eradicates one's sinful reactions, all the past sinful reactions, and bestow good fortune upon whoever hears them. So these narrations are, are all over the world, broadcasted all over the world and are filled with the spiritual power. So what happened? Thus these gopis, they cried. They longed for the association with Krishna. So please give us a little bit of medicine, that medicines which, counteracts the disease in your, in your devotee's heart. Our minds therefore are filled with anxiety, and your tender feet might be, wounded by. And they also think that this tender feet, the Krishna's tender feet would be, wounded by the pebbles as he roams around the forest. So the gopis thus, sung to get the association of Krishna. They started weeping loudly. So they were very eager to see Krishna. And what happened? The Lord could not tolerate all this weeping. Anybody crying, and that too women crying. So he appeared as a most charming, beautiful, wearing a garland and wearing an yellow garment. He directly, appeared as one who can bewilder the minds of a cupid. And who himself bewilders the minds of the ordinary people. So what happened now? He comes, when the gopis saw their dearmost Krishna had returned to them. What happened? They all stood up at once, and out of their affection for him, their eyes bloomed wide. It was as if the air of the life has entered their bodies. One gopi, he joyfully took Krishna's hand between her folded palms, and another placed his arm, anointed with a sandal paste on her shoulder, and another gopi, he took the joined hands and he took the betel nut from Krishna's mouth, and she started chewing, and one gopi, she stared at Krishna like that and saying that you can't go anywhere because I took the whole of you through the aperture of my eyes and placed you within my heart. She resembled like an yogi, meditating upon the Lord. So they gave up all the distress. They gave up all the distress of separation. And Krishna said, I thought if I vanish for some time, you'll just come and search me. But the love and devotion you show to me, I'm not able to, repay any debt for your, spotless love or attachment towards me. And your connection with me is beyond reproach. So you have worshipped me, cutting off all the, domestic ties. And those domestic ties which are difficult to break. Nobody will do that. So therefore, please let all your, let your own, glories, deeds be with your compensation. So the Lord, Krishna now enjoyed Rasotsavam with all the gopis near Yamuna river. See, this Rasa Leela, this Rasa Leela is different. It's completely different. Within the Bhagavatam, it is very, very precious. Now, only some unscrupulous people, that is, who don't have any moral principles, go at once to the 10th canto, especially to the, to the 5 chapters which describes this Lord's Rasa Leela. However, the pastimes of Srimad Bhagavatam is most, this portion, particularly this Rasa Leela, is the most confidential part of the great literature, Srimad Bhagavatam. Unless one is thoroughly accomplished in the transcendental knowledge, of the Lord, he is sure to misunderstand the Lord's worshipable transcendental pastimes in Rasa Leela dance and the Lord's affection with gopis. This subject matter particularly is highly spiritual and technical, and only liberated personalities, only it is said, people, the great yogis, they say that only it is understood by only in the stage of Paramahamsa can transcendentally relish the, the worshipable Rasa Leela part of Srimad Bhagavatam. Therefore, only Vyasa gives the reader a chance to gradually develop in spiritual realization before actually relishing the essence of pastimes of the Lord. So, see, there are actually, crisply, there are 10 cantos. There are 10 cantos in Bhagavatam. There are 13 cantos, but 10 cantos in Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam. And 9 cantos are devoted to understand the Krishna's birth and his pastimes. The 10th canto begins. He's all avatarams. The 9 cantos describes the avatarams. Then the 10th canto begins. Then Krishna's birth and pastimes are mentioned there. So we should not jump over to the 10th canto all of a sudden, because people are very much anxious to jump into the 10th canto. No, you should not do that. 10th canto is a Mukharavindam. It's said to be the Mukharavindam. It's a face of Krishna's smiling. It is said like that. But Krishna worships begins from the lotus feet of Krishna. Nobody offers, flowers and tulasi on the face of Krishna. They offer only on the feet. That is the beginning. See, that is the first and second canto of Bhagavatam. So we have to go by and by. When we are actually, experienced, that Krishna ourselves, oh, this is Krishna, then you try to understand the 10th canto. That's why Narayana Bhattatri, when he was narrating or writing Narayaneeyam, closed his eyes in the meditation and thinking how a 7-year-old boy, he's only 7 years old. Krishna was only 7 years old when the Raskreeda was done. How a 7-year-old boy, could have done this Raskreeda with the young woman and continued his dance with songs. He was very much astonished. Hearing this rhythmic beats, he opened his eyes. To his amazement, the Lord was, enacting that Raskreeda at the sanctum of Guruvayur temple. And Bhattatri continued singing in the meter, corresponding to the rhythm of the dance enacted. That is how Raskreeda was described in Narayaneeyam. Narayana Bhattatri, he saw himself, Sakshat Narayanan dancing. Kesa pasadrita pinchita kavi pinchita Kesa pasadrita pinchi kavidati sanchalan magara kundalam Hara jalavana malika lalita mangara gagana shaurabham Peeta chela drita kanchi kanchita mudanjadan chumani nopuram Rasakeli bari paribhushitam tavahi rupamisha kalayamahi. Narayana Bhattatri is describing how Krishna he is seeing himself. He's having the peacock feathers, adoring his hairlock and dancing the fish-shaped eardrops, pearl ornaments and a variety of garlands on his neck. And sandal paste on his chest and golden ring around his fingers. With all the around his hip, he's having that udyanam like thing, and he's shining anklets on his feet, stone-studded shining anklets. So Krishna dance, spreading his sweet fragrance everywhere. That is how he is describing. Narayana Bhattatri is describing Bhagavatam. The gopis arranged in a circle. Lord Krishna expanded himself and entered between each pair of gopis. He placed his arms around their neck, and each girl thought he was standing next to her alone. That is how it was arranged. In the midst of dancing gopis, Lord Krishna appeared as an exquisite, sapphire, as the gopis, sang in praise of Krishna. Their feet danced, their hands, gestured, and their eyebrows, moved with the, playful smiles. They all danced together. That is the Raskreeda. Tavadeva krita mandane kalita kanchulika kucha mandale Kandalola manikundale yuvati mandale tapari mandale Andara Sakala Sundari Yugalamindira Ramana Sancharan Manjulanda Dhanurasa Keli Mai Kanchataba Samupadatha Vasudeva Tava Basa Manamiha Rasa Keli Rasa Saurabam Durato Bikalu Narada Gaditam Magalaya Kudukakulam Veshabhushana Vilasa Veshala Vilasini Sadasamavrida Nagato Yuga Padagata Vyadivegato Dashura Mandalim. See, that's how they danced. It's the meter is like that. It's like, really dancing. The Gopikas who are dressed in the, best, in their best with beautiful eardrops, surrounded Lord Guruvayurappan, their Lord Krishna, at Guruvayur, and enacted the same way. And Krishna took many forms and moved in such a way that there was that he was there between two gopis and two gopikas, and in between one Krishna, and one gopika between his two forms alternatively. So rasa means dance, or it can be also be taken as enjoying the sweet divine from the Lord. So Sage Narada, pleased with this Raskreeda, here he enacted at the sanctum of Guruvayurappan temple. He invited all the devas, apsaras and damsels, to witness this beautiful dance. So hearing his call from the altar, all the devas, kinnaras, apsaras, damsels, and they all came there to Guruvayur to witness. They are all full, who is all, they're all full in the skies. They were all witnessing all this beautiful Raskreeda done in Guruvayurappan temple. So one of the Gopika, who is very slender, like a flower creeper, she became tired of dancing, and with with her drooping eyes, fell on Krishna's attractive shoulder. Another one, with falling her hair locks on her forehead, took his hand like that, and cunningly, she started kissing his hand in ecstasy with the goosebumps all over her body. A virtuous Gopika, wearing the dangling earrings, pressed her cheek with Krishna's cheek and enjoyed the nectar of the betel nut taken by Krishna. The Gopikas were, however, soaked in the divine bliss. You can't explain that. Divine bliss was still seen in dancing in circles, and totally, not conscious of themselves. Bhattatri was speechless. Bhattatri became speechless at this point, seeing all the dances and Gopikas enjoying like that. So the women of this Vrindavanam, they got exhausted after dancing, after having a beautiful dance over at the night. They got exhausted, and hence Krishna gently took them to the Yamuna river and and sported with them. And Krishna gave those numerous women the ecstatic joy. Krishna, immersed the Gopikas in the supreme consciousness and bliss in the midnight with his mercy, which otherwise was achievable by, only by yogis. Yogis can dream and they suck the nectar of Krishna. But here the gopis are doing the same thing. So by this act, Krishna made even Brahma, Lord Shiva, and all other gods to respect the Gopikas. So Narayana Bhattatri prayed to the Lord, whose beautiful form is achievable only by his devotees to protect him. Lord Guruvayurappan acknowledged his. He used to acknowledge whatever Narayana Bhattatri says by nodding his head. So Krishna asked Gopikas to return to their home. The Gopikas reluctantly returned. And the Gopas and the cowherd men there, he bewildered by Krishna, by his illusory, potency, thought their wives and, the wives had remained homes at their sides. So here this Raskreeda, describing this Rasa, see even I am getting goosebumps, anyone who faithfully, hears or describes the large Rasa Leela or playful affair with young gopis of Vrindavanam will attain the Lord's pure heart, Thus he will quickly, become, they will conquer the lust. The disease of the heart is the lust, isn't it? So that will go off. That will go off, reading this, hearing this Raskreeda. So such a great thing. That's such a, the secret thing is Rasalila here, described in this Bhagavatam. And it should be heard with, with a sincere attention. And Sukacharya narrated all this Rasalila. And Sukacharya, after narrating this Raskreeda, he started, he told how his father Nandagopar was saved from the clutches of serpent and delivered that, Vidyadharan, named Sudarshanan, from the curse from the Angirasa Munivar. And here Sukacharya narrated how Krishna killed Arishtashuran, and how Kamsan now reacted when he learned from Narada that Krishna and Balarama were the sons of Vasudeva. So Krishna killed the horse Rakshasa, Kesi and Vyomasuran. And Sukacharya, now he is going to describe the Akrura Agamanam. So we will see the Akrura Agamanam in the next session, and we will complete this session with Raskreeda today. Today we have seen a beautiful part Raskreeda, and in the next session we will see Akrura Agamanam and Rukmani Vivaham also. So we'll conclude this session with Purnamadam. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.